Hello and welcome to another edition of Know Your Schools on WISD TV. My name is Dale Caffey. My special guest today is Kathy Densmore. She is your new principal at Crestview Elementary. Kathy, first of all, congratulations and thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
So nice to see you. You have been in education for quite some time, so before we talk about your goals for Crestview this coming year, let's get to know you a little bit better. You're no stranger to Waco ISD, that is for sure. Let's talk about your history in education right now.
All right, well, before my husband and I moved to Texas, we lived in Arizona, and I started in education through Christian education, and by way of California, we moved to Texas, and I went back to University of Texas up in Tyler and finished my degree, and then started searching for a job, and Waco offered me a job at South Waco, which I got to stay a whole 2 weeks before I was moved to Bells Hill, where I stayed for 9 years as a teacher in the 4th and 5th grades. Loved it there, loved teaching. Then I accepted a coaching job at Brook Avenue in reading, and I did that for 1 semester and then became the instructional specialist there at the campus, which I did for 6 years. And then accepted the assistant principalship there and was there for 2 years, and then went to Alta Vista, Indian Spring, and here I am at Crestview.
Great. So that is a number of years both as a teacher and an administrator. How has being an assistant principal at several campuses prepared you for your first principalship?
Well, it's one of those things, it's on-the-job training, and usually training by fire. You just jump in with both feet, and I've had excellent principals who have trained me well and given me multiple opportunities to be successful and to do a wide range and variety of things that principals ultimately do. Sometimes it's been very challenging. Last year at the secondary level, because I'd always been in elementary, when I went to the secondary level, all of a sudden you have a whole new perspective of what's missing coming up from elementary. And so that's certainly something I want to make my staff aware of, that when we send them to secondary, we need to be sure that they're ready.
No doubt about that. What do you enjoy most? Obviously, you've taken now a job as an elementary principal. I'm seeing more of an elementary person in you than secondary.
Absolutely. I love those little ones. Even though I've taught upper elementary, just children of all ages, and I've always admired the pre-K teachers, because I'm like, how do you do that? I've thought second grade was the golden year. You know, they're past that baby stage, ready to move on to the upper grades. But I've always taught the upper grades, and I love those upper grade children.
Go back a little bit now, back to when you say you're from Arizona. Is that where you were born and reared, or? Yes,
I was born and raised in a town in between Phoenix and Tucson called Casa Grande. It's a farming community. My dad was part of that farming community in cotton finance. And I kind of had that leave it to beaver life growing up. When you look back, you realize how fortunate you were, because the world's a very different place now.
No doubt about it. You met your husband there too, who also teaches at Waco ISD. We're going to talk about Donald in just a little while, but that's where you met him, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He was in the Coast Guard. I had a friend that I went to church with, grew up with, who also joined the Coast Guard. And he called me one weekend. He says, I have a friend I want you to meet. So he brought him home, and that's how I met Don.
Wonderful. And then y'all made the move from Arizona, and you said California and then Texas. How and why did you come to Texas?
Well, my husband was in the youth and music ministry, and he came in view of a call here in Palestine, Texas. Okay. And went to a church there. I was still teaching at a Christian school in California. he came early and my daughter followed and at Christmas time, and I went back to California to finish my contract. But about mid-year through, they said, you need to go be with your family. So about March, I moved here.
Now, Palestine, of course, not too far from Tyler.
Correct.
And you had an interesting story before we started this interview about how your teaching career started at Waco ISD. Why don't you share that with the viewers?
When I graduated, I crammed everything into 2 years. I took every class I could take, so I'd be really prepared. And so I graduated from UT August 6th and accepted a position in Waco ISD at South Waco Elementary the day before school started. And then I loved it there. I was there 2 weeks and then was told, oh, we've rezoned, you're going to have to go to Bells Hill. And poor Miss Cohn just got a bunch of teachers that she didn't get to talk to or interview, and went there, loved it, and was there for 9 years.
You also have an interesting story in the fact that you were driving back after being offered the job at Waco ISD that August,
yes.
and then got another call.
Yes. They had put a hiring freeze in Tyler. I really thought because we lived there I was probably going to be teaching in Tyler. But they put a job freeze on, so I just put my resume out to several different school districts, Waco being one of them. And I came and interviewed for the job, and on my way back, they called and offered me the job here and said, can you be back tomorrow and start? And I said, yes. Well, when I got home, I got another call from a principal there in Tyler who said, I have a second grade position for you, and can you start Monday? And I told her, although I hadn't signed a contract, I believe to be a person of my word. And I came, and I've never regretted it. So.
I was going to ask you, looking back, was it a good decision?
Yes. I love the children here in Waco. I love the people that I've worked with. I love the community. It's been an excellent experience all the way around.
After all those years as serving as a teacher and then an assistant principal, now you're finally getting the principalship. Obvious question, are you excited about this?
Oh, beyond. When I started working this summer over at Crestview, every day more and more excitement built as I talked with the staff, and we started coming up with ideas, and I got my administrative staff hired. The excitement is just, I mean, you feel it when you walk in the door. They are so excited. They keep up, when we're getting started, when we're getting started. Mm-hmm. Well, when you get back here on on duty. But they've already put in a lot of hours before they were required. And we've met as an admin team and got to know one another and had a good time. And like I said, we're just already feel like family.
Obviously, there's some nervousness too, this being your first year, but with a support staff or the team around you like that, it has to make you feel great.
Oh, I have surrounded myself with people with so much experience and knowledge. I purposely chose these people for their expertise in different areas where Crestview needs some extra help. And I know that these people will be able to get us where we need to be next year.
Let's talk about Crestview. You are acquainted with the campus, yes. But talk a little bit about your goals and your motto and all the things that go into getting ready for a brand new school year.
Well, one of the first things I did, of course, I looked at scores, mm-hmm. and they fell off a little bit. Well, we've got to get that back on track. And my team, we've already sat down, worked out our plan. Everyone has their specialty area. I met with my instructional specialists, which I have 3, and they have expertise in specific areas. So that's why I hired them, because I know that they can get the scores back where we need them. And another thing, we're looking at rigor. We want to be sure that we have a very rigorous teaching, and that we teach to the rigor of that curriculum that we've got, so our children will be prepared as they move on.
I know that part of the challenge is to make that child want to be at school each and every day. And I know you have some exciting things planned for that first day of school. Why don't you share that with us?
Well, we sat down, we wanted to have a theme, something that would be exciting for the staff as well as the children. And so we came up, we looked at several different things, and we finally settled on being a superhero. So our motto this year is, "We are superheroes flying above the rest." And the staff is just excited. They're decorating their rooms, we're getting the hallways, we're going to be getting the hallways decorated in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a big surprise on the first day of school. The children are just going to be, their eyes are going to pop out of their head. And I think they're going to be very excited about coming to school. And something that we're going to be doing with our staff, we're going to be doing a book study called Teach Like a Pirate. And it's working on engagement of how to improve our lesson plans to make them engaging and something that the kids will be just, tuned in and ready to go. So, and the staff is very excited about this study because I have been promoting it through email every time I talk with them. And so they said, "Oh, so we're not going to be pirates?" I said, "No, we're going to be superhero pirates." So that we've got exciting times ahead this year.
Very good. Obviously, this interview will air some before school begins, as well as a little bit after that first day of school. But I'm going to allow you now to send a direct message to your parents who are anticipating a great start to the school year, and also, looking into how the school year started itself. So if you can right now address them, and
all right,
that'd be great.
Be happy to. I want the parents of Crestview students to understand that we love your children, and we are going to do our best to give them the best education to make them successful. We want you to know that we have great plans, and we want to involve you in those plans. If you would like to volunteer for our campus decision-making committee, we would love to have you. We have several different areas that we are going to be having committees that we need parent help and parent suggestions and help us with our planning for our campus. We want you involved. We want you there. We're trying to find different ways to keep you updated. We're going to have a monthly newsletter. We're going to have a parent room for you where we will have resources, computers, different things that that will help you and help us and help your children. We have a parent involvement staff member who will be there full-time to help you and will be helping us with our plans for the year. We want you there. We want you involved. We want you helping us make decisions for your children's education. I have an open door policy. If you need something, you can call, you can come by and see me. My assistant principals have the same view. We are going to be knocking on doors. We're going to be making some home visits. And don't worry, it's friendly. We just want to get to know you and let you know that you're welcome at the campus. Some things that you might want to know about is we made some slight little changes to the dress code. Your children can wear their Crestview t-shirts anytime. They can also wear any color of polo shirt. We're still going to go with the basic khakis that we've done before, but we're going to try this and see how it goes, and if it goes, we'll have a great year with our dress code. Also on our website, you'll be able to find supply list and a copy of the dress code. Also, most people have cell phones, and we're going to try an app called Remind. Our staff may be asking you for your phone number, and that's what it's going to be for, so they can, if you want to get those reminders of things going on at school or in your student's classroom, you'll be able to get that right on your phone. So we're very big on technology, so we're going to be using that to help you and to help us.
Very good, Kathy. Sounds like a student-centered and a parent-friendly campus you're creating there at Crestview. I promise we talk about Donald because that's your husband. for 38 years now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's still a teacher at Waco ISD.
Yes, he is works at the Brazos High Center with 8th graders. Last year they started what they called an accelerated 8th grade strand there, and he taught science there.
We are so happy that the Densmores chose Waco over Tyler some, I don't know how many years ago now, but it's been about 23 years ago probably or so. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Once again, this is Kathy Densmore. She's your new principal at Crestview Elementary. Thank you so much for joining us for Know Your Schools on WISD TV.